Let's go. Yo, get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back.
All right, welcome to our 2022 fantasy football team previews. We are hitting up the New York Jets. My name is Joe Bond, founder of FantasySixPack.net. With me tonight, Dylan Clemons from Fantasy Six Pack, and let's jump right into things, shall we?
Yes, sir.
With our hit the buttons right here. Quarterbacks for the Jets, Mr. Zach Wilson sitting there at the overall rankings over on Fantasy Pros of 169. Quarterback 24. We got Joe Flacco and Mr. Mike White. Mr. Couple game winner there for a few teams last season. I mean, look, this whole offense hinges on Zach Wilson to be good. I mean, do you believe that he can actually take the step forward this year and be fantasy relevant enough at least to support these guys?
That's so tough to say, man, because we really don't know. We didn't really get much knowledge out of last season from him because early he's okay to start, and then Belichick got a hold of him and kind of beat him up pretty good.
Yeah.
But then he started to come around towards the end of the season, relaxing on the turnovers and stuff. But
yeah, it was kind of running around a little bit. He had 91 rushing yards one game. Again, the lack of turnovers. I mean, no turnovers in the last 5 games.
That's great to see.
That's good. I mean, just 2 in the weeks before that total. So I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for a rookie. So I think he's just such a unknown product still, in my opinion. He's really raw.
Yeah.
It could just be that he's just like, that's just what he is. It might work. Who knows? I'm not willing to take a chance on him obviously in redraft leagues. I mean, who knows? We've seen weirder things happen where these guys come out of nowhere and be awesome, and you're going to go scoop them up after week 1 or week 2, and they're going to win you some leagues. But I just kind of get the feeling Zach Wilson's not going to be that guy. So with his ranking being that low, though, I mean, what about like a 2 QB or super flex league? Like, would you be willing to take a chance on him in that kind of format?
Yeah, I think he's a decent dart throw as your QB2, QB3, maybe pairing him with like I'm not sure who's going around him.
Well, what about what if you got like a Tannehill who's sort of like he lost a few weapons and we're not really sure, and he's just kind of like safe.
Yeah, I'd be
pair him
okay
up with like
that.
a kind of risky dart throw as like a Zach Wilson. I think that wouldn't be a bad pairing there. So.
Or him and Jameis Winston or something like that.
Yeah, Winston's another
quarterback.
Yeah. Yikes. Couple barrels of TNT there, man. All right, so running backs, man, this is an interesting one. So they went out and drafted Mr. Breece Hall, and who right now is sitting at number 36 overall in RB19, and killed all dynasty managers who roster Michael Carter.
This one hurt me, man.
30, dude, you and me both.
Yes.
And then Ty Johnson and Tevin Coleman can kind of be forgotten at this point. They're just kind of injury replacements.
Yep.
What is Breece Hall like really gonna be the guy to just take over here, or do we expect more of a share workload here between these guys?
I personally expect to see a shared workload because of what Michael Carter was able to show last year. He showed flashes and he looked good. He catches the ball out of the backfield. The problem is his 5th round draft capital, and it was kind of like it meant nothing because he was a 5th round pick, and they're okay with pretty much just replacing him with Breece Hall, which it drives me nuts, man.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's going to be a split because Michael Carter is going to make it a split, because you can't just leave somebody who I think's very talented. You can't just let him sit there on your bench, man.
I completely agree. I I traded up in my rookie draft last year to get Michael Carter when he fell to the beginning of the second round. I mean, I think this guy is underrated in my opinion. I mean, I watched a lot of ACC football because I am a Hokie fan, and saw Michael Carter and obviously Javonte Williams just tear up the ACC time and time again. And honestly, man, like if Javonte Williams hadn't been there, Michael Carter would have been drafted where Javonte Williams was. I mean, he was that good. He just kind of got second fiddle to Williams because Williams is that good. But yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. He's a very good back. He's capable of running. He's probably not going to ever be like a 20 carry a game guy, but I mean, with the receiving work that he can get, and he's capable of carrying the ball 10, 12 times a game. He's nearing RB1 level at that point with the amount of work he could have gotten there. But you bring in Breece Hall, and now it's just a muddled backfield. I mean, you're right. With the draft capital that they spent on Breece Hall, it's probably going to lean his way.
I know. Yeah.
It sucks. But I'm not sure it's as much as people are buying into it.
Like some people are just kicking Michael Carter to the curb, man.
Yeah.
And I just don't agree with that. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Breece Hall because he's uber talented.
Yeah, he's a super talented guy.
He was the best running back in this class. And but yeah, I really think it's going to be a split between the two. Like, Joe, he's going around, who would you rather have, Breece Hall or Elijah Mitchell? Or Breece Hall and J.K. Dobbins.
I'd probably take Dobbins.
Same.
The 49ers, but I never want to take the first 49ers running back off the bench or off the draft board, just because it almost never pans out that way. That was kind of where I was like, oh, you're really gonna give me that one. But yeah, no, I get you though. That is a tough one though, because he's also in that situation where there's just always a lot of guys in San Fran, but that offense obviously is predicated around the run. So Mitchell is just gonna be if he stays healthy, he should be very, very good.
And I just want to touch on this real quick. I know Breece Hall can catch the ball out of the backfield, but he's kind of more known as a grinder. Are they really gonna need to use Breece Hall like that? Because they're probably going to be losing quite a bit because the Jets are still going to be a pretty bad team.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, what I hear a lot from scouts and things like that is that what you just said is Breece Hall is going to be first, second down back, and then Michael Carter is going to fill in as the pass catcher. I mean, garbage time might be Michael Carter's best friend. Yeah, the 2-minute drill in the end of this first half, and then like the last 10 minutes of the second half. I mean, it'll be all Michael Carter a lot of games.
Man.
So, yeah, be careful drafting Breece Hall and reaching for him just because you think he fell into a nice spot, and I'm not sure he did as much as people think. So moving on here, wide receivers, and Elijah Moore was that guy last year I also really liked and got him at a couple spots, and he really turned it on at the end of the year. Garrett Wilson comes in as the rookie from Ohio State. Corey Davis is still there. Braxton Berrios. I got Denzel Mims and Jeff Smith. With this receiving core, I mean, who's going to actually finish as the highest finisher here? I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be one of Moore, Wilson, or Davis, but
I think it's Elijah Moore, and I'm okay. I'm all right with it where he's going in drafts right now, wide receiver 27 too. Like you said, we saw him flash a bit last year. I know he was really good in the red zone and really efficient. I want to say right there, he caught 5 or 6 touchdowns later in the season. I want to say.
Well, he missed toward the end of the year, but he caught a bunch of passes there, and a lot of it was actually from Mike White.
Mike White, that's right.
Which was hilarious. It was like Wilson got hurt, and then it was like, oh, Mike White woke up, Elijah Moore, and then came back and he had like a dud game, and then it was like, oh, okay. Zach Wilson figured out he should use Elijah Moore too, and then and then Moore got hurt. So what are you gonna do?
I'm curious your take on Garrett Wilson, though, Joe.
Wilson's a guy who I'm just. I mean, these Ohio State running the receivers, man. They always seem to come in and do great things. I'm just, again, it's another one of these kind of like, we've already recorded the Miami Dolphins video at this point. We talked about Hill and Waddle kind of fighting for stuff, and kind of like where's Wilson gonna find his niche, right?
Yeah.
Where does he fit in? Where the targets that he is going to get, like how reliable are they going to be from Zach Wilson? It's like, is there enough to be able to support two guys?
Yes.
Or is Wilson really just going to lean on more because he's got more, like he knows? Like, I mean, Wilson could just be the far superior talent. I mean, that's really all there is to it. He totally could be, but we'll have to see. I'm not sure I'm buying. I probably am not going to have very many rookies on my team this year in redraft. Let's put it that way. I just don't really like where they're going. I don't think this class was all that spectacular, and not a lot of them fell into very good spots, to be honest.
Right.
So let's finish off here with tight ends, and we got CJ Uzoma and Tyler Conklin here. Nothing really good. I mean, you want these guys, you can have them. Yeah. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, look, Uzoma showed a little bit last year, but I mean,
we touched on it earlier.
Anything with these guys?
I don't think so, man. Uzoma probably just kind of touchdown dependent, red zone target. Like we talked about earlier, it just hinges on if Zach Wilson's going to be solid enough to be able to support all these weapons.
Yeah.
Because they gave him a ton of weapons to see how good he is, but I'm not sure if he can support all these guys.
Yeah,
and it's a far drop from Joe Burrow to Zach Wilson too, throwing you the football.
I was gonna say he caught 5 touchdown passes last year, but I'm not expecting that to happen this year. So, all right, well that's it for the New York Jets. I want to thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, leave those comments, and we appreciate you guys. Tune in next time. Peace.